Let's play one more clip since we're on Parade of Bigots, who really do dominate in many respects, YouTube and online discourse, and frankly, you know, I guess on cable discourse at times too. Here is Steven Crowder from his program Louder with Crowder. I don't know. Maybe they just. I imagine there was a segment either earlier in the program or later in the program where he attacks gay people or transgender people. I may be wrong. That could be just the episode that he did on Monday or Tuesday instead of the one that he did on Wednesday. But here he is finding just one more target of his ire, one more sort of set of people who are not white, heterosexual Canadian males.
It is absolutely horrifying.
It is.
And we need to cut ties to the rest of this godforsaken world that is Europe. I'm sorry. It is just as bad as a lot of the countries that people... It's just as bad as the shithole countries that just have better lighting. They have better sconces. That's all.
If Putin wants to redeem himself, there's a place he can invade right now.
Yeah, look at the price of freedom right now, Ukraine. Hey, they're paying a price.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they can be subjugated to Russia. And this is also why, by the way, going back to the idea of Native Americans, or you had this thing in Canada with the French and the Plains of Abraham, we gave it back to them. We want reparations. You have Native Americans. Listen, by the way, I think it's the Lakotans. There were 20,000 when they took the Black Hills, and then genocide was committed, and now there's a mere 170,000.
Do the math.
No. You're a conquered people. That's what's happened. It's actually sort of like in a company. We've talked about this. If you think someone maybe needs to be fired, you should do it right away because it's the best thing for them. Yeah. And the United States should have said to every group of people, look, you are now American. No, we won. And by the way that you're going to be subjugated is you're free. Just don't rely on everybody else to pay for your stuff. That's it. So us, instead of enslaving you, is you now live in a country where we demand freedom of everybody. You just can't come to us and start demanding free crap from somebody else. That's it. As opposed to what Germany would have had done, as opposed to what Russia would do, as opposed to what they did do, as opposed to what Genghis Khan did, as opposed to Attila the Hun, as opposed to all of humanity. The natural order is not peace. And these people are smart enough to know that. They're smart enough to know that. So they're lying because they want to create a society in an image that, well, you have the haves and you have the have-nots. Hey, by the way, most of these people are leftists, socialists, just to be clear, not capitalists. Let's just be honest about that.
This is about as fascist as you can get, right? I mean, he's going full.
You're a conquered people.
Full Nietzsche on us here with this. He is basically saying that if you are attacked and colonized, then you lose and you should be wiped out. I mean, you're all Americans now. He took issue with the fact that there was any Native Americans left alive, so that perhaps that they could have descendants.
He's also just denying genocide there, pretending like...
He's calling for it!
Well, yeah, but also claiming that because, like, the remaining native populations also grew in numbers, as did all of humanity during that time period in between our genocide and now, that negates the existence of the genocide.
Well, it's like the real giveaway is like, all we did was let him go free. And to put this up, Bradley, this is from about 100 so years ago. A citizenship ceremony for Native Americans who were here. A citizenship ceremony included the symbolic last shooting of the bow and arrow, and then the plow symbolizes the future of the new citizen. So that's the freedom they were given. You get one last arrow to shoot for your way of life because we're going to get rid of that and give it to farms. Put your hand on this plow, and also the women can go to residential schools where they can learn how to run laundry equipment.
And just in case you didn't, he wasn't explicit enough in making this about white conquest. As far as I know, Canadian Steven Crowder never fought in any war. He was just bequeathed this stuff because he was of the colonizing race. He didn't earn it himself in any way. He's just taking the spoils.
He still claims to be pro-life, right?
They're just going full on.
Just clarifying.
They really do. It's almost like there's a competition now because they all have to bigot each other.
Oh, yeah,
to
absolutely.
get the views.
Hey, but he's danced on that line. He could be demonetized any second. We'll see.
Last I am of the day. If you ever catch yourself saying the true nature of the world is not peace and think you're a good person, please reconsider and just own your evil.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you carry a gun around, you're going to make sure that it's going to be a slightly self-fulfilling prophecy. I'd really like to see this guy carry his gun. Like, what's weird is I don't see him carrying it when he does the change my mind.
Interesting he doesn't bring it onto school grounds.
Like, if Crowder wants to normalize gun usage, why isn't he wearing it out when he does his stuff on college campuses? Well, I would imagine. I mean, I hope this guy is out there wearing it outside all the time. In Texas, you can do that, right? Why are you trying to normalize YouTube hosts packing heat on YouTube? Why don't you just normalize dad going out with new twins and the wife, or going to the supermarket, or going out to harass a guy you see doing graffiti on the wall, or
because if Fuddruckers kicks you out for having a gun, it's not as good for marketing as if YouTube bans you because
right.
you're having a firearm.
But also, I would like to see this guy. I mean, let's see it. He's been trained with his firearm. Let's go out, put yourself into some situations.